Hello, welcome to Adventures in Pop-Ups. I am Rachel, and this is where you come for tips and tricks, hacks and mods, campsite reviews for your pop-up camping adventures. Today, I want to talk to you about how we plan for a big trip. I do already have plenty of tips and tricks on this channel for making plans and going on trips, but I specifically want to talk about what it's like now, especially in 2022, when it is hard to get some campsites. Have you guys had any problems? Well, first of all, obviously, if you're going to any major destination, you need to plan well in advance. So, for example, we are going to Florida for Florida Panhandle in Alabama for spring break this year. We made those reservations a year ago. Literally the day that they opened, we were on there trying to get reservations and we barely got them. In fact, the second place that we're going to, Gulf State Park, we didn't get in and I kept checking back, and I ended up scoring on a cancellation. And so we are actually spending 3 nights at Big Lagoon and 3 nights at Gulf State Park. So we're actually doing a little Alabama and Florida on the Panhandle. Cannot wait. It is coming up, but that was done a long time ago. Now that we're getting closer, I'm looking up YouTube videos. I'm looking and finding more information. In fact, I just found out yesterday that if we go ahead and get our America the Beautiful Pass for the national parks that we're going to need this summer, if we get it before spring break, we can visit a couple of different destinations on the National Seashore for free instead of having an extra fee. So, added bonus, watching people's YouTube videos. They are helpful, aren't they? So, plan well in advance. The next place that we're going to is during the summer, and we had to start making reservations early because we're going to Yellowstone, and that place is hard to get into unless you're a little truck camper or something like that. Then maybe you can find a little spot, but when you're looking for a 30-foot spot, 40-foot spot, you need to be completely planning ahead. If you haven't planned ahead and you're like, oh no, it's too late, keep checking back. People do cancel. Part of the reason things are filling up so fast is because, I think, my personal opinion here, I think people, as soon as, they think we want to go to Yellowstone, book the max 2-week window and we'll figure it out later. And I think a lot of people are just booking it, everything they can, and then canceling what they don't want later. I guess that could be a strategy. It's not my favorite. It's causing problems for everyone else. So maybe that's your strategy. Maybe it's working for you. But anyway, I digress. So plan ahead, and if you're just taking little weekend trips, then that's not as big of a deal, and you can follow some of my other tips and tricks about how to find a campground in the first place, picking the area you want to stop in. Well, let's go ahead and talk about it now. So if you are taking a huge trip, like we're going from Illinois to South Dakota, Wyoming, that's huge. So basically what I start out, I think, what is our destination? Okay, our destination is going to be, let's say, Yellowstone. We have about 4 destinations right now, but anyhow, let's say destination Yellowstone, right? So then I'm looking up on my Google Maps and I'm like, okay, all right, you can also do trip planning websites. There's all kinds of places to do this. I like Google. I go on Google Maps and I do the satellite button, and I kind of experiment. I'll put in my road destinations and I'll be like, oh, maybe Sioux Falls, maybe in there. How far is that? So basically you just want to figure out how far do you want to drive each day. If you're taking a huge trip, figure out what works for you to break it up. Generally 7 to 10 hours is doable for us. We try not to stop. We are really stingy on stops. I pack a big old cooler of food, and we try not to eat try not to eat fast food on the road. We'll stop for potty and gas and be like, let's go. And anytime that somebody is hungry in the car, I'm just like, who wants a PDJ? Woo! And we're handing out the snacks. All the time is snack time. It's fine. Snacks big for happy people. What can I say? So, 7 to 10 hours is our preferred but sometimes we have done 12 and more. That is a long day. Then you're probably setting up in the dark, not fun. If you have anything hold you up, if your stops take longer. One time we had a tail light not working, so we had to actually stop. I was calling places who could fix our RV, or actually it was our van was the issue. It wasn't making the connection. So we had to just get it fixed on the way, I think, to Tennessee one year. So you could have holdups, so keep that in mind when you're trying to schedule how long you think you're gonna go. We do generally go about 70 miles an hour on the highway, depending on weather, depending on all the factors, but we don't really go that much slower with a pop-up camper. That is, of course, one of the big perks of having a pop-up camper. You've got the low profile. Now, another thing you want to decide is, do you want to just stop in a hotel? Do you want to just rest at a rest stop without popping up? If you have a pop-up camper, you kind of got to think through that stuff. Do we want to set all up and tear it all right down in the morning again? We haven't really done a one night. We've done a hotel a couple times, or what I really prefer to do is make a destination out of each stop. So for example, this past summer when we went to Niagara Falls was the major destination. Well, we stopped in Hocking Hills, Ohio first for 3 nights, I'm pretty sure, and we had a lovely time. We weren't just, setting up, tearing down, hitting the road and getting burnt out on driving. We stayed, we saw some waterfalls, we had a great time camping with our family. And so if you can turn it into like micro destinations almost, your waypoints can become an adventure unto themselves. And we're gonna do that when we go out west. In fact, we are gonna go to family member's house for a few days, and then we're gonna go to Custer State Park for a few days. Then we're gonna go to Yellowstone for a few days. Then we're going to the Tetons. Then we're stopping by the Rockies on the way home, Rocky Mountain National Park. So I'm trying to space out the way there, the way back, and you just kind of have to do what works for you. But this is what so far has been working for us. I hope it's helpful to help you get your wheels turning on how you can make this happen. By the way, pay attention, especially in these national parks, to the size of your site, because some of these places, if you have a 30-foot site, they're talking about your tow vehicle and your camper open. Now, of course, with the pop-ups, we can leave the back bunk hanging off, and we've got a little bit of a perk there. But keep that in mind, because you don't want any surprises when you show up at these places and realize, ooh, I have nowhere to park my tow vehicle because I took up the entire place with my camper. Once you have your reservations, then you want to start looking up what is there to do. And as you might guess, we like to watch YouTube videos. People out there have already done this before. I'll check out a place's website. I'll look up people's adventures on YouTube. I'll check around different things, different reviews. Sometimes we'll get on Facebook. Hey, what did you guys do when you went to Niagara Falls? And see what people say, see what people do. Think about whether or not we're supposed to bring the dog. Figure out what we're doing. Just find some fun things to do or have in the back of your mind. I mean, maybe you don't need Danny Tanner's clipboard of fun, and itemize out your adventure. But you want to have some ideas of what are we going to do. Are we going to hang out on the beach for 5 days? Cool. Are we going to get bored of that? I don't know if you can get bored of that. We might want to go check out Fort Pickens. We might want to go on some walking trails. So think about all that stuff. Have some stuff to do. Have some rainy day activity stuff to do as well. And planning food. You want to plan the food out in advance, obviously. I have a lot of videos for that. If you need any food ideas, check out my other videos. I've got lots of hacks. We really love the hacks on this channel. Plan out your food, figuring out some easy things, figuring out some new things to try. Don't forget the s'mores. I mean, come on. Okay, well, that's it. I hope that you appreciate these tips and tricks. And as I just kind of relay to you as we're making plans, we've got camping fever. I'm redoing the camper in the background, and I'm working full-time and family and all the stuff. But we are excited to go camping again, and Anybody else have the winter blues? I like to look up, where are we going to go? Let's make some plans. Let's go. Let's think about it. Let's watch other people's adventures of it. And let's think about when we get to go on our next adventure. I hope you get out on a lot of adventures. Until then, keep coming back. We got more every Monday. And happy camping.